Hey y'all, it's Lindsay with the Fiber Seed, and it is WIP Wednesday where I share what I've been working on. If you are seeing me on YouTube only, it's because I got my IG account deactivated somehow. So I am here doing WIP Wednesdays until I'm reactivated. I'll let you know via email. You can subscribe to my email list with the link down in my description. So let's get going. What have I been working on? I've been working on Penelope's Rexy mini sweater. It is designed by Maison Dene. I'm using Sprout Sock and Amelia Besprinkled. And so I have about 2 inches left to go. What am I doing? This is how I calculate without my measuring tape how much I've done. So from my pinky to my thumb, as an adult now, it's 8 inches. And so this is a fun trick that I learned from my dad, that when you are out and about, you should know like some of the measurements of like your hand span or your knuckle, things that are like an inch, 8 inches, so you can estimate things even from your elbow to your fingertips. So anyway, that was that fun thing. Working on that. Hopefully I'll be done soon. I know there's Sleeve Island coming up, so I am super excited about that. But I'll get through it because it is a size 6 children's, and I can get through those sleeves much faster than if it were mine, which is why I have mostly short-sleeved projects. Trade secret from me. Anyway, what else am I working on? This is gonna be WIP soon. This is Neon Lights Half Speckled. Doesn't look like much here. This is what it looks like in Hank. So, well, these are two. This is Antique Flowers and this is Mermaid. Mercat Magic. So those are half speckles. So that's what this looks like in Vision when it's in a Hank. I'm going to be making a Depth Cowl by Talitha Kuomi out of it. I have made so many of these in the past, but you can do it in sock, which is what I'm going to be doing, or you can do it in DK, or you can do it in worsted. If cowls aren't your things, but hats are, you can always also do it in a hat. There's fun construction, also designed by Talitha Kuomi. The pattern's well written, love it. I've made so many of these. It's definitely a skill builder pattern on your tension. So if you would like to learn how to mess with it, this is a great pattern. If that doesn't seem like your jam, you just want to kind of pick it up and go with it, you can also do that too if you're a sock knitter or even like garments. Depending on your circumference, why am I pulling this? Is not it. You can basically make it faux stripe. So it's just spiraling around because you're stacking your rounds on top of one another. This is an Afterthought heel, a smooth operator, sock by Susan B. Anderson. But any sock pattern will basically do this. So pick your favorite. If you do heel flap, it'll kind of zigzag and but then go back to the faux stripe. So you do that. You can do check this out. Look at that. This is short rows, and you literally just do one feather at a time. This is the Pincha shawl by Penelope and Wangsai. I'll put the links for all these things in the description. So the higher the contrast of the solid to the speckles, the more these zigzag pop. And wow, it was so much fun to work on. But anyway, that is my next WIP. In the non-knitting or crocheting world of my WIPs, I have Penelope's pillowcase dresses to work on. So I have 6 of them, but one of them is now my learning dress because I was zipping through adding on my extra bits because thanks to procrastination. This was supposed to be the dress. I didn't get to it till now, and she's grown by 4 years. So 4 years. I luckily had fabric that for all of them that went with it so I could add length to it. Problem is, I wasn't paying attention. And I sewed the edge of the I don't know if it's the selvage edge of the fabric, but it's showing. I wasn't paying attention to my seam allowance. When I was doing this, when I was cutting it, I'm like, you need to do this when you do that. And then when I got to it, I didn't do it. Story of my life. Anyway, that's what so this is my learning one now. So instead of doing a plain straight seam and then like zigzagging the edges of this so it doesn't fray, I was like, let's try, since we're doing this, French seam. So basically, for instance, instead of sewing like the wrong sides out, you actually do the initial, this is not, anyway, you do the initial seam with it facing, the right side's facing. So you'll do half of the seam allowance that you would be doing for the project, and go and do that. Trim it as close to that as you can without making your seam faulty, ineffective. Then you fold it wrong side after you iron. Y'all, ironing, so underrated, so necessary. Anyway, you iron it, and then you fold it over. You fold it over, then iron it. Look, sewing's not my first game to play with fun things. So this is what it looks like, because you fold it over and then you seam it again at that half seam allowance, and you've used the full seam allowance you're supposed to use, and you have a finished, look at this, finished. So yes, super excited about. What was I not super excited about? Bias tape. I've done multiple aprons in the past that were for adults, and it was basically double fold bias tape edging all over it, right? So there were curves, right? But they're big, so I could handle them. I had pressed this, and I still got this fun little whoop going on. Boss at putting the initial stitch to attach it to the fabric, but when I fold it over, and I am learning, so this contrast thread, which if you were doing this and like you were amazing, it'd be no problem. I'm not. You're supposed to match it to the bias tape so you don't see the mistake you're about to make. And I totally did. I hopped right off the edge of this thing onto the main fabric and I had to hop right back on. So I did 2 of those. And then I get to fold this down, make the little pocket for either the ribbon, which I've got a bunch of, or a strap that you make with fabric, which you don't. So I'll be doing ribbon. Anyway, that's how close I am. Folding that down and sewing it, and then fixing this down here, folding it up and hemming it. So dress 1 out of 6 is close to being done. Hopefully I'll learn all my lessons and I won't be making as many mistakes on the other 5, which are over there. You can't see them, but they're there. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I think I might add, I mean, I know this is the new project, but I think I might add another WIP. There we go. This is how we're rationalizing it. I'm going to add a current WIP from my pile to the mix so that I can maybe have a finished project by next time. Who knows? It might completely throw it off. We'll find out. But until next time, happy crafting.